what is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some more test hands for Crusadias. Last time we did a Crusadia test hand video was about 2 or 3 videos ago because we had some Reaper cast videos to actually do. So because of that, it's going to be quite interesting again to get back into this, and I wanted to actually do a few more test hands because the first time we did the test hands we only managed to do 2 test hands. Though we did get the opportunity to explore both first and second situations. So in this case I'm going to do the exact same thing here, testing out to see if there's anything that's viable going first, and then we'll see what happens when we go second just by drawing 1 extra card, and that way it kind of gives us a good idea of which side is better, but at the same time it also gives you a bit of an idea of how you could do things if you were to be in the worst case scenario, and in this case it would be going first. But before I get started, I would like to remind you guys to consider subscribing, hit a like, drop a comment, and share this video. It really does help. With that being said, let's begin. Alright, so here's an opening hand. As you can see here we have 2 Arborea, so we're most likely going to be summoning one of them. This is actually very interesting because it kind of looks like a second turn hand. Because of the Kaiju Slumber, you could definitely pull off quite a bit of combos here, so that would be nice. But let's just do a quick scenario going first and see how we actually do things. So just going to take the top card, put it here as the 6th card of course, so we're going to come back to that later, but we can normal summon out the Arborea of course, link that away, which would allow us to go into our Magius. And of course that would allow us to summon out our Parallel Exceed right underneath our Magius, which of course would allow us to summon out another Parallel Exceed, but also to search out a Crusadia monster, which would be fantastic because we can add our Maximus, and in this case we get another Parallel Exceed, so that would be over, where is it? Over here. And it doesn't really matter too much about what level it is, though you could apply it later on with the Arborea, that would be nice. So next up you're going to take the Magius and you're going to take the Parallel Exceed, and you're going to pretty much, actually you know what, I'll keep this one, the level 4, and I'll use the level 8 and this one and link it away and go for Reglex. So next up we're going to do here, maybe we'll go with a Leonis, special summon it out, go with the Reglex of course, what the Reglex allows us to search. So in this case maybe we'll search out, where is it, Power, because we get a bit of protection since we're going first. And from that what we're going to do here is link these 2 away, and this will allow us to obviously go into an Equimax. However, what's fun here is we can now summon out our Arborea. And because it's a tuner, together with the level 4 Parallel Exceed, you can Synchro Summon and go for a level 7. In this case, a Dawn Dragster, but at the same time, you could also summon out Maximus if you want to, boosting up the Equimax, and then you can protect your Crusadia Equimax with the Crusadia Power. So that's a situation where we're going first. We do get a negate, which is fantastic. We set up quite a solid board for our opponent to try and get through, and we also have a follow-up Interrupted Kaiju Slumber on our following turn. Definitely fantastic, great start. However, let's reverse it back and try going second now. Alright, so these were back into the deck, and these were the opening cards we had. However, I did save the 6th card in the actual top deck here, so that would be a Draco. So in this case, let's try going second now. In this circumstance, what I'll do immediately is try to get rid of our opponent's board. So we go for the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. So in this case, you give your opponent whatever you want. You can give them the strongest one if you want, that's up to you. And otherwise you could still summon out the 2nd strongest one anyway onto your field. That way you could boost up your Crusadias as much as possible. So it's up to you. I would give them the Jizukuru, just because if you put it on your side, your opponent might use it to go into a Chimera tech, so that would be bad. However, if you give it there, they can't use your own Kaiju, but they have to use their own. So it kind of works in that sense, but either way, I'm going to bring this out. Make sure it's in maybe the middle link, and that would be great. Put that into a zone where you know you're going to put your Equamax, of course. That way Equamax with the benefits of both these kaijus, already 6600 damage. But with that being said, let's now go with some other plays here. Normal summon out Arborea, link it away, Crusadia Magius, and next up we bring out our Parallel Exceed, of course, and we search out the Maximus and of course the other Parallel Exceed to summon out. So get that to the hand, we summon this out over here, which is great. Of course, I'll just move that up a bit to give us a bit of space to work with, so that's great here. But next up we could take the Magius and the Parallel Exceed and go into our Regilex, and of course next up we could take our whichever one you want. In this case I'll just go for Draco, and we're going to search out this time our Revival. So where are you? Over, because with Revival you can attack everything as well, that's so powerful. Yeah, so there we go, we have Revival. And then next up we can activate Revival, of course, go with Draco and Regilex, and these two will allow us to go into our Equamax. However, the fun thing is we could really push us like beyond that. So this is a level 4, so let's see here. I would probably put this obviously in a different link zone so that it doesn't disrupt, but you could bring out the Arborea, of course, link these two away, or synchro summon them away. Go for your Dawn Dragstar, fantastic of course, and then from that you could summon out either your Maximus or your Leonis. Now, you actually have great options. Maximus allows you to attack, well, double your inflicting damage onto your opponents, but keep in mind Crusadia Equamax is already at 2000, gaining 33 and 33, which makes it, 66 plus that, so that's 86. So with the Revival allowing you to attack everything, I figure Maximus is fine if your opponent has monsters in attack. However, if they have monsters in defense, you can go for Leonis instead and give your Crusadia Equamax, piercing damage, which is definitely powerful. And with all of this, you're kind of guaranteed an OTK anyway, because keep in mind we most likely wipe the board with the Kaiju Slumber as well, which is definitely fantastic of course. But say that you didn't get rid of it and the opponent managed to negate it, that's okay, because we now can summon out the Maximus anyway and the Dawn Dragstar, and it would all boost up the same way anyway. Alright, so this one is an interesting hand because technically we could still try to get away with this. So let me see here. It's kind of similar to the first hand that we said we had to Arborea, but even in this case it kind of looks a little bit harder to pull off, though we do have Caught by the Grave to kind of disrupt the opponent. So I'll put the 6th card over here, but let's just play this off. So we have here Arborea. We can link the Arborea away, go for Magius of course, and this will allow us to then summon out your second Arborea, search out with your Magius, allowing us to at least get Maximus, so that's fantastic. But we can link these two up, which would allow us to go for Regilex. In this case we go for our Leonis with our Regilex. We could also search out, of course, in this case, Power for protection because we are going first, but we could link these away and allow us to go into our Equamax. Keep in mind that I did go over this in the past, well, in the previous test hand video, where instead of going for the Regilex, just go for an Imp Masquerena, summon out Leonis, and you could pretty much just sit and wait there and then go for a Unicorn, potentially on your opponent's turn to disrupt them. So it's not bad, and you also have Caught by the Grave anyway, so kind of has that bit of extensions there and disruptions. Not the best, but definitely not the worst either. However, I'm choosing to just go with this one. We just set our power to protect our Equamax. We can even set our Caught by the Grave if we want to, and we just leave it at that. If something happens, we still have the monster reborn anyway, so it's not like we're in the worst case scenario. This is definitely still quite decent as a board. However, let's again reverse it back to the opening hand and then work with this second turn card. So in this case, let's put everything back. Alright, so this was our original hand, and here is our 6th card, which happens to be a kaiju. So in this case, that actually works out really well for us when we're going second, of course, because summon out the kaiju again onto a zone you know your Equimax will come out on, and then you will go for the Arborea, link away into your Magius, of course, summon out your other Arborea, and of course you could search out your Maximus, and take your Arborea and your Magius, link into your Regalex, which of course allows you to summon out your Leonis, and in this case you could search out your, well, not power this time, right? Instead this time you could search out for your Revival once more, which is definitely a better card in this particular circumstance. Trying to go for an OTK, of course, so where is it? Up there. And then of course we can activate it, take these two and link them away, going for Equimax, boost it up by that, summon out your Maximus, fantastic. And if you really wanted to push it beyond that, you could go for the Monster Reborn as well. Your opponent could try to negate you, but you have Caught by the Grave, so you're in pretty good hands. But yeah, Monster Reborn can bring out your Regalex, potentially boosting up your Equimax even more than that. So just bring back whatever's the strongest monster, and it definitely still works out. Alternatively, if you already have enough to go for damage by using Revival alone and you don't have to depend on Maximus, you could also go for the Monster Reborn. This will obviously bring out your Arborea. Arborea, keep in mind, is a tuner monster, so you could Synchro Summon, go for your Dawn Dragstar, boosting it with this 2100 plus the 3300, making it 54 plus that, which makes it 74. Although it's not much, the fact that Revival allows you to attack every single monster means that you're potentially dealing more damage to your opponent anyway. So it just works out, and you have Caught by the Grave. That's just an alternative option, of course, but even so, it definitely showcases what this deck can potentially do. So that was pretty much it for today. I hope you guys actually enjoyed that. This was definitely quite a fun deck to actually work with. I might do another test hand for this as well, just because I feel like we've only done technically a total of 4, and I figure doing at least 2 more would be quite nice to see what else the deck can do, at least to try some more alternative variations. But with that being said, I'll leave that up to you guys. However, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all next time.
What?